everyone, and welcome or welcome back to the channel. This is Carmina, and this is an astrology video. But if you're into the cards of truth, you might want to listen to this video because it will also help you better understand the cards of truth system. So today we'll be talking about how planets feel in Capricorn. But before that, let me just quickly remind you to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, Capricorn. What is Capricorn? In Western astrology, Capricorn is associated to the goat. But in Vedic astrology, the Capricorn is associated to the crocodile or other large aquatic creatures. And the thing about these large creatures, like the crocodile, is that they have not changed their physical structure for millennia. And why? Because it works so well. So again, we can imagine that the energy of Capricorn is something pretty rigid. It's something pretty fixed, although it's a movable sign, because the beginning of Capricorn on December 21st also marks the beginning of the zodiac sign of Capricorn. If we look back in ancient Egypt, they used to have these staffs, the persons of authority, these staffs with a crocodile head. And again, another connection between this Capricorn energy and authority, because one of the key words for Capricorn, besides rigidity, is authority. It's having some sort of power in the world. But Capricorn people are also very sensitive, because at the opposite spectrum of that Capricorn energy, at the other axis, 180 degrees, lies Cancer, which is being in touch with your feelings. There are no signs that are good or bad, but for the planets, some planets prefer the energy of some signs and other planets prefer the energy of other signs, because it's like the clothes you wear. Some clothes are more flattering and, you know, they make you feel and look a certain way. Others are less flattering. So if we consider the planets as conscious forces that shape our lives, that seize us and put us on a certain path, then we can consider the signs as the molds, the vase, the receptacle, the clothes that those planets are wearing to go about and do their thing. So Capricorn is this necessary energy of constriction, of rigidity. In the Northern Hemisphere, as we said, it marks the winter solstice, when everything is withdrawn, when everything is hibernating. So it's a necessary withdrawal. It's a necessary control. Capricorn is a very dutiful sign. It's very responsibility oriented. It's so dutiful and busy that all its, most of its preoccupation is to take care of the worldly things that, life brings about people. So that's why, for instance, Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn, because Jupiter is a planet of expansion. It's a planet of optimism, of long-term vision, while Capricorn is a sign that, okay, you have to do this now, you have to act a certain way within these confines, and the Jupiterian energy does not go well with that. I would think that also, like, Jupiter in Capricorn would be a limitation of spirituality. It would be like a very institutionalized type of religion, where you take the wisdom and you try to put it in a box, in the confines of a box. So it would be like a very strict type of religion, a very limiting type of religion, a very dogmatic type of religion. But of course, if you have Jupiter in Capricorn, you don't have to say, okay, my life is over. No, you just have to understand that this is something you need to overcome, that you need to have faith in the greater plan of things, that there is a universal law, because Jupiter rules universal law, and Capricorn pertains more to man-made structures. So you have to understand that this universal law exists, and we can understand it with the means of man-made structures, but it cannot be fully confined within these means. And yeah, another thing with, if you have Jupiter in Capricorn, you can spend more time with children, because children are also connected to Jupiter, and their joyous, innocent wisdom will help you understand life through a different lens, through a different perspective. And then another planet that's not really happy in Capricorn is the Sun. The Sun in Capricorn is not happy, because the Sun is the drive, the inspiration of moving forward. The Sun is also the universal soul, the universal Atman, and it doesn't like to be constrained with worldly duties. So these two sattvic planets, Jupiter and the Sun, they're not really feeling the tamasic energy of Capricorn, because Capricorn is a tamasic sign. I mean, what it wants to do is to fulfill its responsibilities in order to avoid suffering. So that's the energy of tamas, to avoid pain, to avoid suffering. And the Sun and Jupiter, they're preoccupied with sattvic things, with self-knowledge more. And they don't like to think about the worldly responsibilities, to be burdened or overwhelmed. Because that's what the Sun and Jupiter are in Capricorn. They're burdened, they're overwhelmed with worldly responsibilities. But also because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planets in Capricorn, they get better with time, because the person better understands what the deal is with them, what is asked of them. And if we look at the other sattvic planet, the Moon in Capricorn is in a natural neutral sign, because Moon has no enemy planets. The Moon is our subjective consciousness, our opinion, so you know, it either has friends or neutral planets towards it, because everyone is kind of free to think and feel whatever they want. That's why the Moon has no enemies. The Moon in Capricorn, it's a neutral, so it's not doing its best. It's not as happy as it is in another Earth sign, in Taurus, or in another Earth sign in Virgo, where it's exalted and respectively delighted. In Capricorn, it's only neutral because the Moon is a social planet. The Moon likes to move around, to interact, and Capricorn is a pretty rigid and stable sign. But it's a rigidity, you know, the Moon on the one hand likes the stability, that's why it's not starved and it's neutral, and on the other hand would like to explore more, would like less restraint. So that's why the Moon is only neutral in Capricorn. And then let's see, we have the two malefics. We have Mars and Saturn. These two malefics are doing great in Capricorn. It's where they thrive. Mars in Capricorn is in its exaltation, dignity. And why? Because the Mars energy can be too much, can be too over the top. And in Capricorn, it just steps a little, because it's an earth sign, it steps back a little and thinks, okay, what are my responsibilities? I'm just gonna work, because of course Capricorn is a very hard-working sign. I'm just gonna work to fulfill what is needed of me, because Mars is the general. Mars does what the king and queen say. When Mars is in Capricorn, its energy is very efficiently channeled to deal with the problems that it has, and not fix other people's problems, because that's one of the downsides of an afflicted Mars. Instead of fixing their own problems, they want to fix other people's problems, and then they create a host of new problems, and then they get super overwhelmed and stressed out. So Mars in Capricorn, super good energy. Mars is a tamasic planet. Capricorn is a tamasic sign, great combination. Saturn in Capricorn, it's in its own sign. Saturn is a slow-moving planet. Also, Capricorn is rigid, is like slow-moving over time, this Capricorn energy. Yeah, Saturn there, it feels just like at home. Saturn wants to be alone and take care of his stuff. Saturn is the Shudra planet, is the planet, the only planet who takes care of the elimination process in the body. Saturn just wants to get his work done and just then relax. And in Capricorn, it feels in control. It feels empowered to do that. And then we have, let's see, Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn is a natural neutral sign. In the other earth signs, Mercury feels good. It's delighted in Taurus because it's friend with Venus. And in Virgo, it's in its own sign. It's Mula Trikona and its exaltation sign, so it's super good in Virgo. In Capricorn, it's so-so. On the one hand, because also Mercury is the child of the moon, so it also likes to move around a lot, and Capricorn is pretty static. And it's not bad because it's an earth sign and it's practical, and Mercury loves practical. Venus in Capricorn, it's in a natural friend sign. Venus is a practical planet, and in Capricorn, it can find the worth of what it does. Venus is interested in the material side of life, it's interested in the concrete side of life, and in Capricorn, it can take care of its responsibilities in an efficient manner also. Venus is a Rajasic energy, and it blends well with this Tamasic sign. Venus desires things, desires to do things, and in Capricorn, it becomes grounded. So it becomes grounded, it becomes practical, so it's a good sign for Venus. And then let's also talk a little bit about the nodes, yes? The South Node in Capricorn means that you come from a background of control, of super emotional control. What I mean by background is that either past lives, early background, early influences, your parents, your grandparents, because these are all part of the South Node. The past lives, the grandparents, they're all like in your DNA. Even if it's you don't believe in reincarnation and you think of your grandparents or your ancestors, whatever they lived, it's imprinted in your DNA. So you have their good parts and their bad parts as well. So yeah, it means that you're very good at controlling yourself, you're very good at fulfilling your duties, you're super good at all these Capricorn things. But in order to be able to enjoy them, you also have to fly apart a little and try the opposite thing, try something new. Try letting go of emotional control with that North Node in Cancer. Try to feel your emotions, try to feel what you actually feel, although it's going to be super confusing, especially in the first part of life. So yeah, try to relax a little. Try to do something new, try to be also more fluid, because Capricorn is more rigid. Try to be a bit more fluid like Cancer. Try to travel abroad, because Cancer is the sign of foreign places. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. A lot of this information is also in the book that I co-wrote with my colleague Levi Kozan, Astrology Explained, Ancient Principles for the Modern Mind. I'm going to link below the book. You can order it. And if you're interested in readings with me, you can email me at carmina@yourstars.com or check out on the website the services section. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.